guys, and welcome to another episode of The Struggle is Real.
Holla.
Hey.
Ryan.
Come on, Mom.
Oh, God. We've already begun, and it's already going to pieces. Okay. My name is Mahalia Torchu. I am your host.
I am Erik Francisco Medina.
And my name is Ryan Pack. I'm the producer and the sound engineer. Should I just drop the title?
No, you should just be
okay.
humble,
No,
man.
let them...
Be humble.
Okay.
So I should drop the title if I want to be humble.
Don't listen. Why are you actively listening to Erik?
I don't know. He was saying, like, be humble, man. I was like, oh okay.
Ryan,
Actively
stand up for
creating chaos.
yourself.
I am standing up myself, but I
Don't
want
let
to...
Erik push you around. Oh,
Erik's
Lord.
so mean to me. Please.
Oh, God. I'm helping you create character,
I'm
Ryan.
in Morse code. Help me.
Ryan, do you even know Morse code?
No, I don't.
This is why I bully you.
Disrespectful.
Wow. I mean, I'm trying to be funny here, okay? Anyways, what is our topic today, guys?
Right.
Let's go into our topic.
Okay. I see you deflecting. That's all right, though.
Yeah.
All right. Our topic for the day is guilty pleasures. What movie or TV show have you watched and liked, but you would be embarrassed if somebody found out?
Really?
Don't look at me.
I can go. I
Erik?
can start. Mine aren't like TV shows. I like Sucker
Maybe a
Punch.
TV show or film.
I don't like
Sucker Punch?
I like Sucker Punch. A lot of people don't like it, but it's not a guilty pleasure. I'm not ashamed of the stuff that I like. But something that I do like that people do not expect me to like are two. One is a reality show, and one it's a YouTube series, I guess. The reality show is Ink Masters. I'm obsessed with Ink Masters.
I was genuinely surprised when you told me that you loved it. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. You do want a tattoo. The only reason why you don't have one is because your mother would end your life.
Yes. I will be 40-year-old with a wife and 7 children, and my mom will still kill me if I get a tattoo.
Immigrants!
Unite! But I love Ink Master. I'm obsessed with it. I watch all the time when I'm bored. I have the like sneak peeks that they post on YouTube. Mm-hmm. I love them. I also love Bon Appetit, which I'm still mad since the whole
well, he's gone now.
Yeah, he's gone now, but we still need to see some change. We need more POCs in front of the camera. But I love their shows. It's funny just watching them cook. I watch people cook and I watch people tattoo. They're not my guilty pleasures, but I guess nobody kind of expects me to be obsessed with Bon Appetit and Ink Masters.
I could definitely see why you would be obsessed with Bon Appetit. If people didn't know you, I feel like they'd be like, Ink Masters? Really?
Ink Masters, yeah, it's amazing. And also, I've watched every single clip that Ink Magazine has published in their YouTube channel.
Are you thinking about getting like tattoo?
For sure, but I want to be alive forever to win Oscars and
Tell
Emmys.
me where you want your tattoo.
He
wants to be a stereotype. That's exactly what he said to me. He said, Mahalia, I live to be a stereotype. What the hell are you talking about?
I like neck tattoos. I don't know if I'm gonna ever get a neck tattoo because my mom, my dad, my aunts in Puerto Rico, my grandmothers and grandparents. I don't think my grandparents will, but definitely my grandmothers will beat the crap out of me.
Yes, they will.
Like they will take turns, and if somebody comes if the police comes and interferes, they will beat them up too.
Oh,
so
makes sense.
I will not have a neck tattoo. Maybe another tattoo anywhere else when I'm 60 because apparently that's how my life's gonna go. But I do like neck tattoos.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, and pit bulls. So
Ryan?
I don't care if I'm a stereotype. Whatever.
Pit bulls. Pit bulls are wonderful dogs, though.
Yeah, they are.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't think of a guilty pleasure on top of my head.
Something that you like, even though, like me, I'm not ashamed to say that I like Bon Appetit and Ink Master. Okay. But something that people wouldn't expect.
Something that would be controversial as a film school graduate student.
Oh, that's interesting.
Okay, well,
yeah.
Okay, what about this? sometimes in February, you know, when Valentine's Day comes
Where are you
closer,
going?
I'm just
Don't we don't
listen here, okay?
we don't.
Ryan. Wait.
So,
okay.
So sometimes I do feel lonely during that, you know.
Oh my
Valentine's
God,
Day.
Understandably so. Shut up.
So-
Shut up.
Where-
Understandably
so
so.
I usually-
Eric,
She's
shut up.
fine.
Eric, shut up. Let him talk.
So
Go ahead.
sometimes I watch just like, you know, reality love shows, like, you know, what was that one on Netflix? Was it Love?
What is love or something like that?
It's like a new Netflix show that came out this year. and
Love
I
is
was like,
Blind.
Oh yes,
yeah,
Love is Blind. Yeah. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. And
You watched it?
I watched it with
But a lot of people liked it, so it's not something to be like ashamed of.
as a guy.
No, I'm not
Why
judging.
does that
ice
matter?
cream.
What?
Bucket of ice cream on being a couch potato. I'm like, I'm gonna be lonely
Okay,
for the rest of my life.
That's why you should be ashamed of. Not because you watch love shows. That's great if you do. Stop doing that.
Oh gosh, where's my
It's
love
okay
of
to
my
cry
life?
sometimes, Ryan. It's okay to cry
While
sometimes.
eating ice cream on the couch. Oh man.
Yeah. Okay.
Jesus,
You know
Ryan.
what? I've shared too much. Please.
I've shared too much.
No, I want to keep knowing stuff.
What's
God,
your
Ryan,
guilty
what?
pleasure, Mahalia?
Oh, Twilight. All of them.
Oh my.
They're
Disgusting.
awful.
You
The
are
acting is
disgusting.
questionable, and I love every minute of it. I love every minute.
They
When
just
When
quiver.
Stephanie Meyer said that she's coming out with a new book, I said, yes, sister. I've been fucking waiting for that. I'm so ashamed of it, but I love it.
You are. That's.
I am a team Edward Cullen. I think it's because I genuinely love Robert Pattinson. There was always something about him that he's just weird.
I don't have anything
He's
against him
weird.
personally.
Good actor.
But
He's weird, and he's a really good actor.
he's a good actor, but he has been on some questionable.
Very
films.
questionable movies, and but hey, he's a good actor. So I just
Sure.
also, you know, it came out when I was like
Yeah.
a teenager and wanted to be in love, and I was like, oh. I was in my feelings, you know, and I was like,
Oh,
where's my
man.
Edward Cullen?
Oh, you want somebody that okay?
Teen was the worst.
Yeah.
The hormones and everything.
You don't have anything else that you're ashamed of? Nothing else? Come on.
Anything?
Mahalia.
I don't know.
Come on.
I mean, I'm pretty forthcoming with the shows that I
Right.
watch. I'm not.
I'm not ashamed of.
I guess no, just Twilight.
Just Twilight.
All of them. I guess you can say Supernatural.
Oh, Supernatural's a
But
pretty good
like,
show. I like it.
I liked it. There were some questionable seasons, and I stopped watching after season 11 or 12, and I think they stopped now. They finished the show.
That's
Yeah.
If I'm not
crazy.
mistaken, but
That's
they ended
crazy.
at like 15 or 16. So I still have some like seasons to
Wait,
catch up
did you
on.
just say 15 seasons?
Yes.
That's insane.
That's so much.
Supernatural is the longest running supernatural drama on television ever.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's
I'm
crazy.
like really
With
like
the-
deep into it, but I don't know like if I'm like over there.
I used to be hardcore. It's actually what got me into film and television.
Oh.
I was an undergrad before I became broadcast journalism. I was studying international studies and English because I wanted to be a diplomat. That was like my life goal. But I just really wanted to like, I was obsessed with Doctor Who at the time. I was
Doctor
binge
Who.
watching Doctor Who. And I was binge watching Supernatural. And I think the reason why I fell in love with film so much was because of character development.
Yeah.
Like, you just saw how every season the characters were changing and evolving. And that just spoke to me. And that's kind of what made me change my trajectory of my career path. But
I sorry to interrupt you, but
No,
I just
you're
remember kind of something. It's not a shame. I think we all evolve to like HGTV.
oh, I love HGTV.
When we were younger.
I waved that banner.
when we were younger, we used to hate that. When our parents were,
I used to be
but
like,
now,
Mom, why?
yeah, but now turn 25, I see that countertop, and I'm like, that is the right
Yeah,
choice.
exactly.
Those
I'll sit there and be
blinders
like,
do not match that.
Exactly.
Change it up.
Really, Susan?
Really?
Really?
Now it's like really
You're
those
gonna
come to-
choose those tiles?
Exactly.
The fuck?
I'm telling you that I'm like, what's it? Joanna is the name?
Yes,
Chip and Joanna.
Chip and Joanna. I love that show.
They're like,
I love it.
It's great. Those concert dubs, those are the shit. It's great.
Like, really, you're not gonna have faith in Joanna? Really? Have you seen
Trust
her portfolio? Property Brothers.
Great. Property Brothers.
Oh my god.
And Extreme Home Makeovers.
Yes.
That show.
The one that used to get me every time. Love It or List It.
Oh yeah.
I used to be like, really? You're gonna love it? You're gonna love it? You better sell that shit. You better list it.
Oh man.
Or there were episodes where I'd be like, you better save that fucking equity, you crazy bitch. Don't you dare go for a bigger mortgage.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my.
that was the turning point of adulthood. That's
when you know. That's when you know that you are an adult. Officially an adult, a young adult.
You know what? Okay, I do have another guilty pleasure. But I don't actually watch the show. I just, like, on Facebook watch, clips will come up, and I'll go down, like, a rabbit hole on Facebook. But Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Oh, hell no.
Because I don't like...
Ew.
I don't support the Kardashians like that, right?
Do you know?
I have respect for Kim and what she's doing legally in terms of, getting her law degree and how she's getting people out of prison. Yeah. I respect Kanye West as an artist. I don't actually.
I think their hustle. You can respect their hustle.
Yes.
But I think their show should be called Culture Vultures. I'm just gonna say that.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
But I don't know if it's because I know exactly what it is. I just want to see
what happens to them.
Not just what happens to them. I'm interested to see what their family dynamic is.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'm curious to see how they spend their money. I don't actually watch the show, but if there are clips on YouTube, depending on what it is, I'll watch it. Especially if they're like going someplace, be like, oh, what are rich people up to? What do you do when you have money?
Yeah, I mean, they have a respectable hustle. It's just some of their choices has been questionable. Yeah. And their wordings. And
I am a makeup enthusiast, so I will by default watch, like, what is KKW Beauty doing? Sorry.
Get that right. Get that right.
Yeah, but I'm a makeup enthusiast, so I don't actually own any of her products, but I do like to keep up with the beauty trends and figure out what other beauty companies are doing.
I don't know much about makeup, but I know they have multiple businesses.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, Kim has KKW. Kylie also has, her Kylie Cosmetics.
Yeah.
Man, they're stacked.
For sure.
Man.
Again, their hustle is respectable.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just want to see, like, how are you doing what you're doing?
Yeah.
And that I think that's why sometimes I'll just be curious, but I won't watch the show because that's too much for me. I can't really watch reality TV like that. Yeah, I'll only watch reality TV if it's with my sister and we're bonding. Like, we love watching Real Housewives together. Half of it is trash, but it's just fun to watch.
They have some amazing quotes.
They do. They
have like the TikTok of Nassim. I'm not Nassim. Why did I say Nassim? I've read the name that our one of our guests for an episode. Sorry guys, but they have a quote from Nene. That's why I got confused.
Nene.
The end. Sorry guys, saying ghetto.
Yeah.
Ooh, the ghetto. Child, the ghetto. That was a trend on TikTok.
Yeah. So I love it for those moments because they're funny by default. So we love watching Real Housewives and some Love and Hip Hop episodes because I loved Cardi B. So I would watch Love and Hip because I was following her on Instagram before she, had all the fame. And then she went on Love and Hip Hop. And so I just started watching Love and Hip Hop in New York because she was there.
Yeah, she was there. Well, that's great. But you know who's great? Our next guest.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes, our next guest, whose bio I will read. Let me get my radio voice.
Perfect.
Gabriella Ortiz is our next guest. She is a Latina actress who was born in San Juan, Puerto Rico. However, she grew up in Italy where she studied dance, music, and fashion design. She now lives in Los Angeles, California. She is known for her roles in Insatiable, Good Girls, and Bobcats, Goldthwait's Misfits. Lord, I'm so sorry. And Monsters. She also starred as the lead in Erik's thesis film, Sonorous, a musical that explores the 5 stages of grief. She is also a part of the Latinas in Media Atlanta group. And that group is a community of Latinas in the performing arts who advocate for inclusion and diversity in media across the board. So we love Gabby.
Yeah.
I produced Erik's film. Obviously, he wrote and directed it. We had a fantastic time with Gabby on set.
Yeah.
She is super talented. Ryan was also on set with her.
Ryan was about to cry because we didn't mention him.
Yeah. I was like, hey,
we
man.
got you. We got you.
I was a cam op.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, he was a cam op.
God.
Wow.
So, but, okay.
I knew that.
Thanks,
Ryan,
I got you.
First of all,
what is it? What is it?
on the producing side of that musical, there was a lot going on. And literally right after, we had Chocolate Thunder.
Yeah,
so
that month was crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Everything just
It's
melted
blurred.
together.
I got
As
you.
everything's a little bit of a blur. I'm sorry.
I'll let it
Sometimes I have to
slide. I'll
refer
let
to
it
the
slide.
credits to know who the hell was on set.
Okay, I'll let it
But
Anyways.
but we are so excited to be interviewing Gabby today. So without further ado, let's call our guest. Well, hi, Gabby.
How are you?
I'm a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm really excited to be here and to see both of y'all's beautiful face. I missed that face.
Oh, we missed you too. Don't be nervous. This is just a simple conversation. Thank you for being here. Erik, you want to start off?
Sure. Gabby is amazing. Gabby was the lead in my thesis film, so we are close. She's Boricua just like me, so we tied on that area. Wepa. Gabby, tell us a little bit about yourself, about your career, what you like.
Yeah, so I was born in Puerto Rico, in Guaynabo to be specific. Oh my goodness, what can I say? So I actually spent my childhood in Puerto Rico, and then my mother remarried to an Italian man, and so we moved to Italy. So then my adolescence was spent in Italy. So it's like I'm a mix of both, cultures. It's like I'm definitely 100% Boricua, but then there's that Italian side of me that a lot of people don't know about. And so then after my experience in Italy, I came back. I always wanted to be an actress. So I told Mom after high school graduation, I was like, that's it, Mom. I'm going back to America. I'm going to go to Hollywood. And here I am,
That's crazy.
That's awesome. I have to ask, what is it like growing up in Italy? Like,
Being
that sounds,
Latina.
being Latina and growing up in Italy. I mean, that just sounds like amazing.
Honestly, it wasn't easy, especially for a 10-year-old to be stripped from everything they know, from their land and family. It wasn't an easy experience, and I don't recommend any parent putting their children through that. But I mean, unless you do it the right way. My mother did it okay, but it was the first year. It was sorry, Mommy. She might never listen to this. The first year was it was hard. I'm not gonna lie, because I needed to learn the language, a brand new language, and I needed to get accustomed to their culture and how they live. How they carry, how Italians, and they have a very different culture from America. It's like day and night. But then after that, once I got the language down and started making friends, then it was pretty cool. Not only was I the only American, it was interesting because they called me the American. I'm like, I'm Puerto Rican. So, but it was myself and another kid. And it's crazy that we never became friends, but he was a basketball player. He was really tall. I don't know his name, but my friends would tell me, oh, there's another American in school and he's a basketball player, but we never connected. But I often think of this guy because it's like, oh, I wasn't the only American in school, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm a popular kid because I came from the US, and I also told a little lie that Ricky Martin was my cousin. So that increased
Oh my God. That's amazing.
I was when Rick was top of the top career, you know, when Leaving the La Vida Loca came out. So everybody was obsessed with him. And I was like, oh, nobody's going to find out the truth. They don't even know. Oh, so my cousin is Ricky Martin. That was, and I told my mom, and my mom, when I told her that, her face just was like, I can't believe you. But it kind of helped me, you know, get the kids to like me in a way.
Yeah. Also break that barrier between them.
Yeah. But if you ever have the opportunity to visit Italy, I mean, I encourage anybody that if they have the chance to live anywhere else in the world, do that, because not only does it teach you it creates character, because you have to survive in a different country, but it also allows you to respect every culture in the way that they are and how they work. You know, it just creates that, like, it just opens your mind a lot more, and you know, and you welcome your brain and your heart to new opportunities and new things that you never thought existed out there. It's like, you know, we think the world revolves around us. It's like, oh no, I'm going out there, go out there and then come back and tell me, you know. So I encourage you to travel as they can. It's a beautiful experience.
What exactly got you into film, interested in acting and performing?
Well, my mom was a prima ballerina. She was one of the ballerinas at the Houston Ballet in 1982 or 3. This is before I was born. So obviously, when she was in her early 20s. So since birth, I was introduced to a life of art and culture and theater and creating, you know. So I started as a dancer. Obviously, my mom had a ballet academy in Puerto Rico, very successful one. And so with my childhood being influenced with art, anything that was art related, I was like, oh, I want to know, I want to learn. And I want to say that Jumanji, the original Robin Williams movie, may he rest in peace, was the movie that made me understand, oh, humans can act. That's cool. Like, I remember watching, my dad got me the VHS and it was in Spanish with English subtitles. So it was the opposite. It was really good. So I grew up watching Jumanji in Spanish, but I vividly remember thinking, what's her name? Kristen Dunst, doing, you know, she had the little pigtails and the romper, or the what's it called, the overall, and dress like her and recite the movie, you know, while watching the movie. This is like, I'm 7 or 6, you remember, and saying her lines and then looking at Robin Williams through the screen and Kristen Dunst, you know, and that's kind of how it clicked in my head. I thought that was fun. Oh, that's a job. People do that. People act. That's cool. So when I told my mother, like, Mom, is this a thing? You know, she said, yeah, those are actors. And so I asked her, please, I want to learn how to do this. And so she put me in acting camp in La Escuela de Plastes Artísticas. Artes Plásticas in San Juan.
Arte Plástica, yes.
That was my first acting experience. And you know, then later I'm very grateful that my mother influenced my life with every aspect of art, whether it was music. I played the oboe, the piano, I did a little singing, and I also danced. So I, you know, learned every aspect of the entertainment world. And then when I turned 16 or 17, I was like, all right, Mom, that's it. I'm going to go act now, because that's what I want to do. I don't want to dance. I don't want to play the oboe anymore. I want to be an actress. I'm going to go do it. She was like, okay, bye. So yeah, I always always loved it. It's a craft that I've just always been mesmerized by it.
That's awesome. So with having all of those skills, has that helped you in any way with any of your roles? Like, have you ever had to play a role where you had to play the piano and you were like, haha, I already have that skill set?
I've had auditions, where they asked if I had any experience either playing the piano or singing or dancing. I actually had a audition one time for part of a ballerina. And yes, it definitely has shaped my art, influenced it in every way. I haven't had the opportunity to play a part in that capacity yet, but it is in my dreams. So hopefully.
Don't worry, we'll write one for you.
Yes, you'll get it. You'll get it soon.
Just write the role, all right, So Erik, I'm looking at you now.
No matter if the story is just horror, just a ballerina twirling around, that's gonna be Gabi. Don't mind me. I'm a ballerina in the background. What's the biggest obstacle that you have encountered being an actress in the industry? Later on, we'll get a little bit more about Latin representation in the film industry, but especially what's the biggest obstacle that you have encountered?
Well, so when I started officially like acting or modeling, and I started in Puerto Rico once I went back to school, or once I started college, because I was, on my own and had the freedom to do whatever I want. Yeah. The one thing that was difficult for me was because I didn't know anybody in the industry. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know which doors to knock. I didn't know how to talk about myself, like how to pitch myself to agents. I don't know that. They don't teach us in school those basic, so it took me years, I want to say, to kind of polish my business aspect of the industry, and I'm still learning as I go every day. But the business part of it was a big struggle for me because I just didn't have anybody to guide me. I didn't have a mentor when I started. There was no internet. We didn't have social media back in was, well, I don't know. Facebook was around, but a lot of information was not out there accessible to people. Right. So that was the biggest struggle, and it takes years for you to learn if you're just managing through life by yourself.
Yeah. And did you go to college in Puerto Rico or here at the U.S.?
I did my first 2 years in Sagrado.
Oh, okay.
And then I did in University of Tampa.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Nice. Well, as an actress, you obviously have to audition a lot. What are some of your tips for auditioning? Like, do you have a ritual for auditioning that you do? I can't talk. But like, what is your process like when you have to go in for an audition?
So it's different for every role. Obviously, if I get a role that's like a one line type of thing, that's an easy, take, I don't spend as much time with a one-liner than when I get either it's a supporting or a lead role. Obviously then you have to dig in. So for those types of roles, I've learned that finding the similarities in yourself with the character is the best way to kind of unite both people together. And and I do, and I write everything down. I kind of go through like her backstory. What was her? Did she go to college? Is she a only child? Does she have siblings? Like, is she? Those type of everyday life situations. That kind of helps you understand that role more and kind of give her life. Because when we're given in an audition, they only give you a breakdown. They say, she's outgoing, loving, caring, and struggling for whatever reason. That's it. they don't talk about the backstory. They don't give us
Yeah.
enough information. So that's an actor to do that and create that character that lives with oneself. And I think it is important to never judge the character, because if you judge the character, it kind of, then you just don't want to play them anymore. Because that's something I recently just learned, to be aware of not judging the character. And everybody has different types of, you know, how they create their character. But I'm learning as I go. Every time I get an audition, I try to really spend my time with that role and really understand whatever her struggle is at the moment, or her happiness, whatever it is. I really try to like put myself in her shoes and try to see myself as Gabriella in her life, in order for me to, you know, project her life and give her the attention she deserves.
Right. Nice.
That's great. Yeah. Given all that explanation, Gabriella is one of the most talented actresses, Latina actresses, right now. To be honest, it's not because she was one of my actresses, but Gabriella is amazing. But you also work in Latinas in media. Tell us about Latinas in media and what they do.
So Latinas in Media is basically a platform where we shine a light on diverse talent, whether it is a writer, producer, director, actor, singer, dancer, whatever capacity it is that you do in the arts. We want to showcase you, and we want to tell the world that you exist. And it kind of started, Denise Santos was the original, who kind of was like, let's do something. Let's create a group of Latinas where they can come together and feel comfortable, you know, and they have a safe space where they can share thoughts, struggles, stories, anything. And it was based out of, do you know Gloria Calderon Kellett, the showrunner?
Yes. One day at a time. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So they, a couple years back, her, Eva Longoria, Rosalyn Sanchez, a bunch of Latina actresses, you know, they created this thing that's called Latinas Who Lunch. And they would post about it, and it's a picture of them with all of them together in, I don't know, Eva Longoria's house, chilling and having drinks.
I saw that.
Yeah, so then Denise was like, hey, we should have that here. And then we kind of like came to, and I remember she messaged me on Facebook, and we were like, sure, let's do a group. And so at first it was just like a group, Latinas Who Lunch. Let's meet for lunch and talk about the industry and our position in Atlanta, you know, and, you know, as actresses, let's talk about that. And then it kind of, it put us in a place where we were like, there's something here. There's something that we need to nurture. And one day this was like 2 years ago, I was working as a art teacher or acting teacher at Alliance Theater in Atlanta. And Vivi Chavez was also one of the teachers there too. And I reached out to her and I was like, I'm frustrated. That anytime I go to an audition, I don't see myself. I only see like 5 people that look like me, and then everybody else is white.
Yeah.
You know? So it came out of a place that's like, I feel like there's no opportunities for us here. What can we do to have our Latino community grow here in the Southeast market? And then she was like, yeah, I feel you. So we kind of were like, we were feeling each other's vibe.
Yeah, vibing off of each other.
What can we do? What do we have at our level of reach that we can do?
Yeah.
And so we came out like, okay, so are we doing a film? Are we writing? Are we doing that? And so the easiest thing that came to our mind was producing a showcase. And so that's how it started. And so for the past 2 years, we've had sold out showcases.
Nice.
And it's all Atlanta talent and all Latino. Well, not all Latino talent. We like to mix it up in there for sure. Show all the colors because I'm all about diversity, obviously. It was important that our writers were Latinos because we wanted to showcase our stories,
Right.
But our stories, we need to also showcase colors, every colors, So the first year it was called Illegally Latinos, and
I love it. Illegally Latinos. Like,
Okay. I love that. That's amazing.
So the showcase, it's basically 4 to 5 piece, 15-minute pieces. They're all original context. So, and last year we did Mi Familia, which was all based on family values and family struggles and your culture and your family. And then Illegally Latinas was a mix of, for example, the play I did was the struggle between dating a white person and a white person dating a Latina and the differences in our culture. Another play was about immigration and the how scared it is, what a scary experience it is when you are, about to get caught or you risk of getting, sent back. Like it's all of that. So it was all influencing or showcasing our struggle, basically what our life has been living as Latinos living in the US. And unfortunately, this year, I don't know if we'll be able to put our show. We might do something virtually. So, and it sucks because the theme that we have for this year goes along with what's happening in the United States of America. It's insane.
My gosh.
Kind of like scribbling ideas, like what can we do? And I'm not gonna say. Erik, I will tell you later.
Yeah, tell us later. Don't worry.
I'm not gonna say. So yeah, it sucks because we might not be able to do it physically, but we'll probably do something virtually. So stay tuned.
That's awesome. We can't wait to see it. We'll definitely announce it on all of our platforms and stuff like that. But so the Latino community still fights against a lot of different stereotypes, especially in film and television. Which one bothers you the most?
Here's a list.
That needs to be a GIF. That facial reaction right there needs to be a GIF.
Number one, I must say, it really infuriates me when a role is obviously written for a Latino and then a Caucasian is the one hired.
Oh,
I know.
Oh, Gabby.
Gabby, we had so many conversations about this. So
we did.
Whew. Too much.
I mean, it's something as simple like I always go for Catherine Zeta-Jones. We grew up watching her en El Zorro, ¿verdad? As Elena. And as children, Erik and I, and I'm not sure, but you can also tell me if you felt this way. You didn't think of her race when she was portraying a what's her? Are they Mexican? I can't remember right now.
I don't remember.
Wait, Google.
Yeah. So
Google it.
Elena. Let's see. I think it was Elena Montero. I think it was Mexican, if I'm not mistaken. California. So yeah. The current governor of the region, Rafael Montero. It was in Spain, actually.
They were in Spain. Okay. So then I need to do my research before.
But still,
that's okay.
She is not Hispanic. She's not a Hispanic woman in Spain. Spaniards are Hispanic.
Yeah, and so, but my point is, like, we didn't know any better at that time. We were children. But now as adults and working for the industry, we realized, oh, wait a second, maybe casting her was not the best choice. Maybe we should have gone with someone who's
a little bit more authentic.
yeah, and has some sort of similarity to the character's background. So situations like that. Also, I mean, the new Mel Gibson movie.
Oh
Where,
yes.
Oh my gosh, Erik was so infuriated when I tell you I got like 100 text messages that day. He was like, Mahalia, look at this shit.
I read the whole. I remember reading about it last year or 2 years ago when it came out, and Mel Gibson is shooting a film in Puerto Rico about Hurricane Maria, or whatever the reason was. And then one of his I don't know if he has Twitter, but I remember reading that he said, "Oh, this is not directly about Maria. It's an overall, situation." And I was like, yeah, but you purposely decided to go to Puerto Rico,
To
an
shoot,
island,
exactly.
2 years ago by this
right.
monstrosity of hurricane. You didn't hire anybody from he did hire some people in the island, but the majority of the cast and crew was not Puerto Rican.
Oh, wow.
You decided to give the role to a white actor, the role of a Puerto Rican police officer to an American actor. That, number one, should be illegal. Because in what mind, Mel Gibson, do you think that you're not able to find an actor who doesn't necessarily need to be Puerto Rican, but at least to be Latino and understand our struggle? Like, why did you hire this white man to play a Latino?
Wow.
Yeah. And not only that, the bad guys of the movies, they are all Puerto Ricans, and all the good police officers are all white. And Mel Gibson.
Oh, no.
So, you know.
Not only is Mel Gibson portraying Puerto Ricans as the bad guys, you know, he's
in their own home country, in their own
island, but he's also perpetrating this vision of white, of white excellency. It's just like, this is exactly what we're fighting against for. So whoever greenlit that movie should be fired, because your research, all like if you're gonna create a story and you're gonna film it somewhere, like look into their history, what's happening. Like, it's just like,
if you have the nerve to go to their homeland, you have to showcase the culture in a positive light. I feel like that's my biggest thing. Don't come into our own home and make us look like the fools.
Exactly. And you should not be the protagonist of that story. I'm sorry. Okay, let's move on, because I'm gonna have a heart attack.
But then I wonder why did it have to be filmed in Puerto Rico? If that's the story they wanted to tell, why did it have to be in Puerto Rico? I don't know the log line. I have no idea.
It's basically a group of Puerto Ricans who use the storm as an excuse to rob a bank or I don't remember.
Oh no!
It's like to rob something.
No.
And it's just like,
ooh, that's like, just cringy all over.
You're showing Puerto Ricans robbing a bank. I'm Mel Gibson, if you're watching this, I'm 100% sure that all of Puerto Ricans during the Hurricane Maria were holding down their doors because they couldn't do anything else, because water will enter their houses. So, dude. Okay, let's move on, because if not, let's stay here forever. On the other hand of that, what as a Latino community, we still have a lot to learn, and a lot to I guess we have a lot of growth still to do in the industry, representation, and a lot of stuff. But as a Latina actresses, what I don't know, what stuff should we wait, let me rephrase my question. Sorry. What elements should we work to improve as a Latino film community? Before you answer, one of the biggest, I guess, that we have to learn, that is also it was imposed to us, but it's colorism in film. Latinos are just brown. They cannot be black. I feel that a lot of times they put Afro Latinas in this weird space of you either have to choose your blackness or your Latinidad, which is impossible because you're both. So that's one of the elements that us as Latinos we need to help. For example, Mahal is Latina and she's Haitian. Sorry, God, she's Haitian. And a lot of times we don't include our Haitian brothers and sisters in our conversation. Our Jamaican brothers and sisters in our conversation. Our Guyanese, the actress from Black Panther, she's from Latin America. We don't include them in those conversations. That's one of the things that I wanted, and as an example of areas that we should improve.
Well, I definitely agree with what you said in regards to all the colors in the Latino community. A lot of people don't know that we are every single color. Let's go back to 1400 when Columbus came in, into his little expedition because he thought he was such a
parasite. Is that bad? I just called him a parasite, but he was.
Is a parasite.
He. Oh my God.
He killed and took credit.
He
for
killed
all stuff.
so many people. He killed the Tainos. Like
you
killed us.
People.
Wiped our native. He literally erased them from existing. That's terrible. So a lot of people don't. I feel like they forget our background and our what our ancestors went through for us to look what we look like now. Obviously, Columbus and all of these conquistadores forced people to leave, Africans to the country and then to come here and work for free. So three races were mixed in together. And also, you see every color, even when you go down south in Brazil, in Colombia, in Argentina. You see that, not much, but you see all the colors. In Peru, they're all brown skin. You know, they're barely any light skinned Latinos down there. So I think, as you know, we're just as guilty of it. We just don't remember. We don't remember that there are Latinos out there who do not necessarily look brown. Hello, I'm the poster. I'm light. On my father's side, they're all Spaniard looking, and then my mom's side, it's all the mix of colors. And I'm more of my mother's side. Comical if you think about it. It's like, oh, interesting how Gabby was more into, all the colors, the mom's my family. So I think it is important that when we're writing stories and when we're creating, to educate our audience how it all came about. And education is key to everything. I should be an advocate for education. Education should be free, number one, and available for all.
Yes.
So
I agree.
I feel like we need to educate. If we're gonna tell a story, let's go ahead and do some research and tell the truth, and then educate the audience. But then also my thing is I deep down, my number one goal as a Latina in the film industry and in the industry itself is to make diversity a normality. It is normal. It is normal for us to be all different shapes of color. It is not normal. It is normal.
Right.
We all coexist. We are all little tiny particles in the sky. We're nothing if you think about it. If you go, and see when they go into the universe and they see Mother Earth this tiny, and you're like, there's people in there, there's bugs in there, and when you're seeing that, you're like, oh, okay, I'm not that important. I'm just coexisting with other people, and we're one. That's my goal. I want the industry to understand that it's normal to see all the colors. But we got to start doing it on television, because when Mr. Smith goes to, sit in his couch after 8 hours of work, and he's watching TV, he needs to see that we are all the colors.
Yeah.
So if we're not showing it to the audience, and I'm talking about the audience, I mean the nation, then how are we gonna learn?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you have no idea how much of an influence television is to Americans
exactly.
and to the world. So if we're not
Right.
showcasing what America looks like, then we're failing. We're totally failing.
Yeah. That's
I don't know if that
Super.
answered your
Girl.
No, it does.
It did.
It does. Because I agree before Mahala goes ahead and asks
go
her
ahead, go
question. I think that's one of the issues that we have, that I think that the Latin community, the Asian community, the Black community has a lot of labels that white producers, not all of them obviously, but a lot of them has put in our community, and we have kept recycling those stereotypes and those labels that we have overcome a lot of them, but we still need to just fight against those labels and stereotypes and help our other colored brothers and sisters, our other, if I'm Latino, I'm not from the Asian or the Black community, I'm gonna help them, the indigenous community. We have to help each other, and we need to fight against those stupid labels. Go ahead, Mahala, before I get mad.
No, you're fine.
That's up to us. This
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
All our generation and the new generation that's up and coming. It's our responsibility. Baby boomers have nothing to do. That's it. They're done. Their time
You have to
is
sit. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
why Jen, I don't know, whatever else they come up with, but
Yeah.
I'm always confused.
Yeah.
My millennial, so it's right now it is our responsibility. So if we are advocating for change, we have to be the change.
Yeah. No, definitely agree. We got to be the change that we want to see, which is why I think it's so funny, because I don't know, maybe it's just because I've been around so many diverse people, but I don't see how people can just stick to one color. Like, look at this group right here. We got a Black girl over here, Hispanic man, Korean man, like Puerto Rican, Italian. Yeah. Like, I don't understand how people can just stick to like one color. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, when I watch shows like Friends, I'm like, how are these people in New York and they're all white? Like, I just about it doesn't make sense to me. There's the Office people, and then there's the Friends people. I'm Friends.
Are you?
And it's so funny. It didn't dawn on me till later, as I was becoming an adult. Oh yeah. Why are all they white? Why?
Yeah.
Like, it was so how as a kid I guess we get used to it. We got used to seeing
it. Didn't bother you as a child because you're like, oh, this is just some people's life.
Yeah.
But then as you grow older, you're like, wait a minute, I am talking to people of all backgrounds. How is this an accurate representation?
But we'll move on. I do have a question for you as an actress. What is one thing that you wish directors would do more with their actors?
Yeah.
When I read that question, I was like, oh, interesting. And I kind of struggled with it because I haven't had the opportunity to work with many directors yet, as I'm still climbing the ladder. Erik is different. Erik is like, he was born to be a director. And what I loved about working with Erik was that he already knew. He was like, okay, I see you doing this. I need you to do this, this, and this. This is my vision. Have fun. He just, he gave me his idea, or he gave me his vision, but he gave me permission to also do my own thing within his vision. And the one thing that I've encouraged, in my experience, which has not been that much, I'm still growing, is that I always encourage directors to take acting classes, and actors at least have some sort of experience where they're directing, because it creates an awareness for both for both professions to build a respect, to the actor and vice versa. So that is the one thing I encourage directors to do, is like to take at least a couple of acting classes, so then they understand what an actor has to do and their process in order to bring this character to life. And another thing that I wish directors would do, which I'm thinking, in my past where I've worked with student films, is to not only have a meeting with the actor, which I'm sure directors do that, kind of like how we did, Erik, and really show the picture of what the director sees in his head. It's hard. It's like it's hard for me to explain, but if you show an actor the clear vision of what the director has in mind and his idea and what he wants to create, I feel like that creates, it's easier for the actor to kind of like, oh, okay, got it, that's what you want.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it makes sense, but I find myself,
it does.
As an actor, sometimes I've struggled with seeing their picture, what's on their mind, what exactly do you want? Because I've made a picture in my head about the scene or about the work, whatever it is, but I need to know yours. So if you get a clear vision of what you want, then I can mix it with my vision, and then we can create together. That's
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a very helpful information, because I think, especially like with student filmmakers and young indie filmmakers who are just starting, they don't really think about that. They just think about, this is how I want this, so do this. But that's not a very effective way of communicating with somebody, especially since acting is a craft. So you have to allow that person to play, to have the opportunity to get to where you want them to be.
Yeah, that's completely true. So Gabi,
I'm just saying, I've had situations where it got lost, the translation got lost. I couldn't clearly understand what the director wanted, and yes, there was a student, so they're learning as they go, and so was I. But I did find myself sometimes just being like, I don't understand exactly what he wants, so I'm just gonna do this best, but then when I see it, when I'm on the screen, I'm like, that doesn't make sense, then I'm just like, that's a bummer, didn't do justice. So
that's completely true. But you have also you have a short film called La Novela.
We've seen it on Facebook.
You thought we weren't gonna talk about that. But it was the first time that you directed, right?
Yeah. It was the first time I wrote and directed. Yeah.
So tell us about that experience. I mean, you have been acting for a few years now. Now you get to be a director. How do you use that in your acting, but also how to direct other actors in the set? Tell us about that.
Well, it happened so quick. First, it came about because there was on social media, there was a short film competition, the quarantine short film festival, or something like that. Called Quédate en tu casa film festival, stay at home film festival. And so I saw a friend of mine, she sent her short. It was easy. It's nothing, it didn't need to be a big production about it. And I was like, oh, that's fun. Maybe I can do something. And then I asked my boyfriend, hey, can you write something for me? He was like, why don't you write it yourself? And I'm just like, well, I don't know. I've never written. So I kind of was like, okay, fine. I mean, I did take screenwriting in college, so I do know the basics of it.
Yeah.
But I've always wanted to, tell this story about how difficult it was to call my grandfather when he was alive, when he rest in peace. Any single time I would call him, he had the old school phone, the one on the wall.
Yeah, on the wall.
And the phone sometimes backwards, or sometimes he would put the ear or the thing up here, so not on so he wouldn't hear me.
Gosh.
You know, it's always a struggle. And then when cell phone came around, forget it. The flip phone, he did not understand how to do the flip phone, and I would just be in awe, just like watching him struggle with technology. You know, grandparent.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That was my love letter to him. So I just wrote it, you know, I wrote it and I was like thinking of experiences that I've had. And there was a joke that it sucks because in English it doesn't translate to the same. He sometimes couldn't understand what I would say. So for example, there was an instant years ago that I was staying with him and I turned the shower on and the cold water, only cold water would come out. The hot water wasn't working, and I'm going to say it in Spanish and then I'll translate it. Abuelo, ¿cuál es la caliente y la fría? Which means, abuelo, which one is the cold and which one's the hot? And he responded, que no prende la bombilla. The light doesn't turn on. So in Spanish, it translates different.
Okay.
Bombilla and fría, you know, he thought I was saying, so then there's a line where I couldn't find a male actor to play my grandfather, so I hired Norma Alvarez, who played my grandmother, where it's in the beginning and I say, and I'm telling her, es un video, turn the camera on, es un video, it's a video call. And she goes, sí, nena, ya tengo guineo, you know, so yeah. But in English, it didn't translate.
Yeah.
But it's little moments like that I've lived with him that I wanted to share that with the audience and the world. And I did not expect for it to get that far at the Curbside Short Film Fest. I don't know if you saw that it got top 10.
Yes, I saw.
First of all, congratulations. That's amazing.
It's one of those things that I was like, what? I woke up and I saw the email and I was, are you kidding me? Top 10 out of 509 submissions. My little,
Jeez.
it was nice to get a sign from God, number one, you know, that I'm in the right path. I'm where I'm supposed to be. And it kind of also woke up that little future producer creator in me, you know, because eventually I go into producing and creator, you know, there's more to this profession than just and so it kind of gave me, I guess, the stamp of approval that I can do it. And it was pretty refreshing and rewarding, you know. I cried and I had a little moment. It's not, for somebody who's like at a different level would be like, oh, that's so insignificant. But for someone from like me, that's like still, you know, climbing up the ladder and trying to like find my way within this industry, it was truly rewarding because it like I said, it just gave me that stamp of approval that I can. So it was a very unexpected and a beautiful moment, you know. I probably done more during quarantine than normal.
Right.
No, that's amazing. And I think it's those little moments of validations that those are like the turning points of your life. So you're only going to go up from here. So congratulations on that. Will you be directing more? Is that something that you feel like you would be doing more? Did you enjoy it?
I have done it in the past, like for high school show talent, you know, the show talents shows at high school.
Right.
Talent shows,
I would direct a piece, whether it was dancing or whether it was like a cute scene. So I know that I have, that little Gabby has done it and has it in her. I just haven't had the opportunity to wake her up, if that makes sense. Just because right now my sole focus is acting, just because that's my number. If I were to choose directing and acting, I would probably say acting, just because it just feeds my soul differently. But I wouldn't be afraid if the opportunity came to me. You know, I would say, okay, do my research and definitely shadow other directors and just kind of like pick from everyone.
Yeah.
But I see myself as a director, yeah. And I say that very like
That's good.
that was the first time. And then what's crazy is that I had to direct myself. So
Right.
that was like weird. And then directing an actor through your phone was even like even more interesting. But I did it, and I know that I also did it as a kid. So it's just like I know it's in there. So I wouldn't be opposed to the opportunity.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
So before we go, we need to ask this question. This is our most important question, right, Mahalia?
Always.
What's your favorite movie and what's your favorite show?
Well, favorite movie is Jumanji. I already talked about it.
True.
That was the one movie that I am here today because of that movie. My favorite TV show, does it have to be of any time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime. Yeah.
Anytime.
It's like, I want to say Sex and the City.
Sex and the
There's
City?
hey, girl, claim it. That's okay. We're all right with Sex in the City over here. That's fine. Sex in the City is what awakened the bouginess in me. I was like, oh, people live like this? God bless. That's what I want.
And I can watch it as many times and never get bored of it. Same thing with Jumanji. It's like, I'll just sit there and watch it with my phone.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that happened. Like that, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Well, Gabby, we're about to wrap up, but before we go, would you mind sharing your social media with the audience so that way they can go and follow you?
Instagram, Gabby Gabs. I might get a little political, so if you don't like it,
That's
okay.
I speak my mind. So
That's
I mean,
how it
just
is.
giving you a warning before you hit that follow button. Like, I'm not afraid to hold my tongue. So
That's good.
That's all right. We stand a political queen on this show. We love it. We love to see it.
Twitter, I am the Gabby Gabs.
The Gabby Gaps on
Okay.
Twitter. Okay.
Awesome. We'll also be adding her social media to the description for
Yeah.
the episode and stuff like that. But Gabby, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for doing this. It was a pleasure talking to you as always, Erik.
That's right. You're amazing.
I love you both. Thank you for having me. It's been a
course.
pleasure, and now I know what it feels like to be in a podcast.
There you go.
We can't wait to
Okay.
see you next time.
Okay. See you later. Take care.
Bye, Gabby. So we hope you guys enjoyed Gabby's interview. I know we enjoyed it very
Yeah.
much. She is such a joy to always talk to. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the podcast. Also, you can find links to her work in the description of the podcast episode, and you'll find it on our Instagram page as
that's
well.
right.
Please subscribe
Yes,
to The Struggle
subscribe.
is Real.
Okay.
My radio voice.
Okay, clearly Ryan is looking for an announcer position, so...
Yeah.
No, man. Hey, do your thing, guys. Do your thing.
So rude.
Are you
Just
done interrupting?
Interrupting.
Cricket in the background.
Is that a cricket?
Okay, I don't know how to make
Wait, what? What?
Okay,
Did you just say rules?
I don't know how to make a
This
cricket
is
noise.
why I
Okay?
bully Ryan. Ryan is a dear friend, but he just gives me material to do so.
Hey, man.
cannot
Hey,
stop.
Hey. Think of me as a comedic relief, all right? You know that, huh?
Yeah. That's why.
Oh, Ryan. Oh, Ryan. We
Oh,
love you,
gosh.
Ryan. We love you.
We do.
Thanks, guys.
We love you. All right. Well, please like and subscribe. As we were mentioning, check out our merch store. Purchase, your Struggle is Real mugs, your T-shirts, hats, any other thing like that. It all just helps support the podcast.
That's right.
The more you support, the more we can give to you guys, our viewers. So like and subscribe. Do you guys have any ending words? Any final thoughts?
I guess Gabriela, one of my favorite points that Gabriela brought in, it was just creating spaces for people of color and to feel again represented.
Diversity.
I mean, we have talked a lot about that in our show, but I think it's always good.
You
to
can see
bring
the
up.
theme of this podcast.
We love our people of color, guys.
We do. Diversity, inclusion, and equality.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for today. We'll see you next time. Also, don't forget to message us on Instagram or email us talking about different episodes, ideas, or just any feedback you have. But we'll see you guys next time. Bye.